Chronicle of Frankenstein. What is this? I need to see these movies. What the heck?
So there's Death Race 2000 from 1975. Then there's Death Race in 2008, which stars Jason Statham and Tyrese Gibson, the R&B singer.
Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, if you ever want to see Sylvester Stallone shooting a Tommy gun out of a car that looks like a crocodile, then Death Race 2000 is for you.
That definitely sounds like it'd be a good thing to
Wait,
watch.
Sylvester Stallone was... I forgot Sylvester Stallone was in Death Race 2000. Yeah, he was in Death Race 2000. I forgot about that.
Again, these are
Death Race
words I
2.
just heard.
Now, Death Race 2 does have Ving Rhames and Danny Trejo, but does not have Jason Statham anymore. It has Luke Goss for some reason.
Listen, you got me at Danny Trejo.
Oh, I see. Death Race 2, I think, is the actual prequel. Yeah, Death Race 2 is the prequel.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to my new show, Find Your Path. Usually we'd be playing D&D right now, but unfortunately, some of our players actually had things that came up, and they really want to spend time with family, which is understandable. Family is important. Just ask Vin Diesel. Fam.
And Jason Statham, star of the hit movie Death Race.
What is Spiral Fitness Ontarioku? What is going on here? I'm confused.
I was
I'm
leaving
here
to chat.
for it, but I'm
It-
confused.
It wasn't. It basically, like, you know, those like self-help DVDs where it was like, you know, yoga or various other methods to try and like help you out. David Carradine did one which was basically with a piece of garden hose that said that by moving this tube around your body would help release your chakras or see your third eye or something. It was obviously some kind of like scam.
Oh, I can't wait to find out what that monk is like.
And the other thing I put in there was a gift from a movie called Deadly Friend.
Anywho, welcome to Find Your Path, where me, alongside my co-stars, are going to be taking various characters throughout media and trying to make Pathfinder characters out of them. With me today, we've got BoonSlayer.
Hello, I'm the source of this madness.
You
Yes.
sure are.
Yes, you are.
Alongside us, we also have CherriWhiteWing.
Hi, everyone. I am confused, but I'm here for it.
And last but certainly not least, we also have Ontarioku.
Hello there.
So then, how we're going to be doing this is that, since we have 3 people here, who would like to go first?
You know what, Boone? Take the lead.
Oh my god.
You already started this madness. Just keep going. Just
Alright.
do it.
So,
Alright, so, if we're going to be going first there, Boone, I don't want you to tell me anything else about this character yet. We're going to be doing this piece by piece.
okay.
And when it comes to any Pathfinder character, we're going to start with our ABCs. So, ancestry. That could be anything like they're a human, a halfling, a goblin. What kind of, like, race are they?
Well, do we want to go with something other than human for someone who's Russian?
Well, are they a Russian human?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Alright, then they are human.
Most spy shows don't have non-humans.
Now, are they human or are they dancers?
Actually, is
I mean-
he a dancer? Let me see. No, he is not a dancer. He is human.
So, what can you tell me about their background? What have they done before their adventure started?
was a secret agent for the Soviet Union.
Okay. So spy might be on there. Let's see here. Oh, let's go look under all. Spotter. Let's see, what's another word for spy?
Infiltrator?
Inlander, insurgent.
Double agent, secret agent, intelligence, surveillance, a snoop.
Alright, let's see, counterintelligence. Also, Kishanji, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Church of RNG. Alright, deckhand, criminal, courier, corpse stitcher, construction, codebreaker, clown, chosen one.
Breaker
You could also do agent, informer, a mole.
Well, he is known for weapons and well, that probably goes more into class, but
He's known for weapons, like does he sell them? Does he make them?
he uses them. Weapons and explosives.
Okay.
He's known for weapons and explosives.
Alright, so he's not a mercenary.
I wouldn't say mercenary, although that's the
Yeah,
most
just said
fitting,
he's not.
That's the most fitting, but at the same time, I would not say that. Schemer? Saboteur?
Whatever you do, if personal enjoyment or if behest of a mercenary company or military organization, you have a knack of destroying things.
Yeah, that'll work.
You have a
Yeah,
sense of
that-
object and structure's weak spots that are, you know where to deliver a hammer strike or alchemical bomb.
Here we
You
go.
adventure to hone your skills and complete your particular mission.
That
All right. Now, you said your character is very good with weaponry. Is it a specific set of weaponry or all weaponry?
Have a range of weapons. So, lots of weapons.
All right, let's
By
hear
the
it.
way,
Like, what weapons have?
probably one of the higher stats for him should be intelligence because he has a master's degree and he speaks a lot of languages.
All right. Well, before we do that, let's figure out like what are their prominent weapons that they use the most?
Guns.
Guns
Guns.
and explosives.
Guns and explosives.
All right, gunslinger.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Since they mostly use firearms, such as weapons, and they are trained in at least simple martial and unarmed attacks.
Yeah, that tracks.
Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and set their abilities. You said that one of their strengths was their intelligence.
Yes.
Alright. With a 14 of intelligence, that basically means that they have an IQ of 140. I can make that up to as high as 16 right now, based on the class, so... Now, you say they're pretty good with their guns, right?
Yes.
Alright. And
And
how often are
probably
they seen
dexterity as
doing... Yeah. So how often do they use their strength?
No, it's more often, I would say, dexterity, intelligence, and charisma that he's using the most often.
Alright, so we'll put that into charisma. And of course constitution, because probably they're going to be going in and they can't count for everything, so they're bound to get hit eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Constitution will help prevent them from dying. So next, let's go ahead and choose their skills. Now, they do seem to have a, are they ever shown creating their own weaponry, either makeshift or professional?
No, that would probably be the agency that's making his weapons.
As an agency, as a spy agency, they've got to be able to at least be able to like lie and cheat.
Oh yeah,
if they need to.
absolutely deception.
So they're definitely trained in deception, as well as stealth.
Yep.
Do they ever have to survive in the wild?
Not that often, no.
All right. They have to be knowledgeable about social activities and people that are very sociable, so they would most likely be trained in society.
I think trained in society tracks him.
Now then,
Especially with
do they...
languages.
Mm-hmm. So, quick question. Are they ever seen like doing performances, such as playing a musical instrument,
No.
singing, dancing? No?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that tracks.
Are they trained in nature or trained in medicine?
I don't think nature. Medicine, I would have to...
Like, do they ever have to give themselves first aid? Or give first aid to somebody else?
I think maybe once or twice it has happened.
Alright, so we'll put them down as trained.
By the way, the engineering being trained in, we're probably in a few levels we'd end up taking that to expert because he's got a PhD in quantum mechanics.
Uh-huh. Don't worry, we'll be able to make that expert as soon as 3rd level.
Yeah.
Alright. How good are they in social interaction? How well can they talk with people?
Very good, especially since, fun fact, this character is like the biggest fan favorite character. Lots of female fans. Lots of female fans for this guy back in the day.
Well, now I'm listening.
Alright. Are they acrobatic or shown to do feats of great athleticism?
Say, I wouldn't go trained in acrobatic at level 1 because, well, I think by the end trained in acrobatic, sure, but this is like a show from the 60s, so there's only so much acrobatics that they're going to be doing on the show.
Fair enough.
But trained in athletics seems to track. I'm not sure we'd ever get to expert on that either, but certainly trained in it.
Alrighty then. Next, let's go over their heritage. Now, heritage can mean anything. They could mean that they are half elf, half orc. They could be skilled, versatile. They could be an ASMR. They can be a Dompier. They can be an Ifrit or one of the other elemental planes. A Tiefling. They could be a Beastkin, which is basically this version's of a Werekin, so werewolves, werebears, weretigers.
See,
And from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like the person is from the mirror dimension, so they're definitely not a reflection.
no. Although
Would you say
technically
that they
speaking,
are-
because he has a different actor in the movies, no.
Alright, well, judging by how you're describing them, they would either be versatile, meaning that they have an extra general feat that they can get at level 1, or they were skilled, which means that they become trained in one more skill of our choice. At 5th level, they also become an expert in that chosen skill.
I think skilled makes the most sense because he's got a lot of skills.
Alright.
He is good at a lot of things.
Alrighty then. So, here we are with ancestry feats. These are feats that each character can get at 1st level that lets them flesh out their ancestry just a little bit more. It can range anywhere between being the devil's advocate of a sort, having a little devil on your shoulder, as it were, metaphorically speaking.
Well, he
Being
is
able
Russian.
to at least. What was that?
Well, he's Russian.
It also lets them be able to read the stars for astrology. Use arcane tattoos, which basically lets them, like, use a tattoo on their body to create several different spells. Dragon Spit, which basically lets them do a little mini breath attack.
Nah, I don't think he has that.
Well, there's Keep Up Appearances, where you are affected by an emotional effect, lets you roll a deception check and compare the result of any observing creature's perception DC. On a success, the creature believes you are unaffected by the emotion effect. A creature tricked in this manner can't benefit from the emotion effect and can't use abilities that require you to be under this emotion effect. So if someone were to try and cast the fear ability on you and you failed, you can roll deception and you can make it look like that you're not afraid.
Yeah, that tracks. That 100% tracks.
And now for the class feat. As a gunslinger, they do have a few here. Are they ever seen using a melee weapon at the same time they're using a gun?
Yeah, with a dagger or a bayonet. Oftentimes.
Right. There's also the dual weapon reload, which lets them reload both weapons when they're wielding two one-handed weapons, one in each hand. There's Munitions Crafter, where they basically recreate their own ammunitions if they ever need to.
I think dual weapon reload is the most fitting for starting out. I think dual weapon reload.
And then there's also Hit the Dirt, where as a reaction, when a creature you can see attempts a ranged strike against you, you can fling yourself out of harm's way, leap, and your movement gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to basically dodge the attack.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's probably it. That's probably the one right there.
This
Alright,
sounds like a badass.
Oh, he is.
Now, as a gunslinger, there are a few ways that they can go about it. There's the Way of the Vanguard, which is basically your unique combat styles originated by Dwarven Siege Engineers, using heavy weaponry with wide attacks areas to blast holes through enemy lines. There's the Trigger Band, which lets you basically use your weapons in both melee and ranged combat. You're a little bit stylish as you do it. There's the Sniper.
See the others first.
There's the Sniper, where you practice a style of shooting that relies on unerring accuracy and perfect placement of your first shot. It also allows you to keep hidden at a distance, staying out of the fray and being an unseen death to your foes. There's the Pistolero, where excuse me, you're very quick to your feet, quicker with your hands, basically rootin' tootin' shootin' cowboy. And finally, the Way of the Drifter. You're a wanderer, traveling from the land to land, with your gun and your melee weapon as your company. Maybe you learn to fight with the blade and pistol as a Shackles pirate, mastered the hand cannon and katana in Minkai, or practice the hatchet and clan pistol of the Dungan Hold. You win battles by relying on mobility and flexibility of your use of weapons.
And what's the way skill of the Trigger Brand?
Alright, the way skill of the Trigger Brand is Thievery.
But I think Trigger Brand.
Alright. And now for the special skill for your skilled heritage. This is the one that's going to automatically level up at 5th level.
I mean, it's probably... spy. So I think
Yes.
we go with diplomacy.
I
No,
believe we already.
no, deception.
Alright. Actually, I think we already got deception with this one here.
Yeah, so
So we can try and allocate that elsewhere. You know what? Here's something else we never thought about. Lores. Now, your character is a Russian spy from the sounds of it.
yes.
Is there anything that they know most about in terms of anything? Like, do they have a special knowledge of anything in particular?
Well, like I said, he's got a PhD in quantum mechanics. Speaks a lot of languages, but we're not there yet. I have to look some of this up because, like, to be fair, not sure how you translate. Um, did we give him proficiency in medicine, by the way? Because I realized something.
I believe we did, but let me double check. Yes, we did.
Okay, because I realized something, because we could kind of be meta about that. Anyway, and I will not explain that right now. If I get a chance to explain a little bit more about the character later, I'll explain that later.
Mhm. You know, here's a good question. Who are they going against as a Russian spy? Are they going against Americans? Are they going against...
For the most part, well, for the most part, he's actually teaming up with Napoleon Solo. So,
So he's teaming up with Napoleon, as in Napoleon Bonaparte?
no, Napoleon Solo. Which is the name of the main character, of the series. This is a piece of knowledge that I looked up that I did not fully know about him. Before he was a powerboat champion, and he's he's an international chess master with an ELO rating of 2401.
All right. You can either put them down as lore chess or lore... Ah, man, what's the name of the people on the boat? Not lore sailor. What sounds right to you? Lore chess or lore sailor?
We'll go with lore chess because he only got a silver medal in powerboating. So,
All right. Huh. Apparently, it gave you an extra one.
oh.
Well,
I
you're free
guess-
to use it in any of these you'd like, or we can put it into the lore sailor if you'd like to.
Yeah, let's do the lore sailor now.
All right.
Sure, why not? Is there only like a small number of ones that can do?
Small number of ones that can do? What do you mean?
Oh, there it is. It did diplomacy that time. There we go.
Yeah, I was able to pull it up diplomacy by swapping it out with another one. All right, so we got everything that they need for level 1 all set. Now, here comes the fun stuff. What is the most outlandish thing that they've done? Like, for example, what is their jumping the shark moment?
Um. That is. Hmm. Ooh, you know what? Actually,
Yes?
I think I got it.
Let's hear it.
So he's very enigmatic. But his actor
Yes?
actually had a penicillin reaction, hospitalized him early in the filming of the series, which caused him to sort of well, no, that doesn't help.
Change looks?
No, it just caused him to, like, rethink the way he did the character. That doesn't help at all, actually. I apologize. Um, he was the youngest man to ever join the KGB. Does that help?
Okay, that is something that gives us something to work with for their age. You can go ahead and put that in age as, well, young adult.
Yes.
And you've been calling them male, so they're definitely male. Now then,
Languages.
they've got,
Okay.
yep,
Now, I'm aware that we don't have the real world languages in there. Let me list off all of his languages other than common, quote unquote, other than English or Russian. Which actually, I'm not sure we ever actually hear him speak Russian, but obviously he knows Russian. But
all right.
French, Spanish, German, Arabic, Italian, and Japanese.
Okay, so French is definitely going to be Sylvan. Japanese is
Right.
going to be Undercommon. Let's see. So there's Spanish, Italian, German.
And Arabic.
Actually, Kitsune could be Japanese.
Yeah.
They are a Japanese species.
Yeah. I could see being like
Either Kitsune or Tengu could be Japanese, one of those two. Right.
And Drofen sounds very German.
Right.
Of course, we could also just make custom languages, but that's no fun
No,
sometimes.
That's no fun. Yeah, that doesn't.
Sansarin could be Arabic.
Yeah, so Sarin could be Arabic.
Alright, so there's Samsaran.
I think that's all we have access to until he increases intelligence further. Bonus thing.
We can do one more, because that way we at least have a goal. So we just need something for Italian.
Cripply? Cripply for Italian?
Just below null. No, a little bit more up. No, two. You're almost there. You got it. You were on it. Go up Infernal, Igman, Gripply.
Ah, Gripply.
Gripply, yeah.
Greatly.
If that's the species that I think it is, that's a very interesting choice.
I mean, it's like, sure, why not?
Why not?
Alright, so we just gotta figure out how to get them 2 extra languages. Luckily, that's not that hard.
Yeah.
Now here's a good question for you. As a spy, what is their alignment? Are they good? Evil? Lawful?
They're
Chaotic?
good. They work for Uncle. I'm trying to decide if they're neutral good or chaotic good. Well, United Nations, so I'd say neutral good. Because Uncle is like an allegory for the United Nations.
Alright, now a deity does not require anybody in particular, so if they happen to pray to one, I'd be more than willing to put them down here. If not, we can just put them down as just none for the time being.
I mean,
I don't think Ilya's an atheist.
I mean,
Well, they may not be an atheist, but at the same time, if they don't
Yeah.
like,
I mean, if he's Russian,
I don't think his
probably...
religious affiliation comes up in the show. So
alright.
I was just gonna say, if he's Russian, he's probably Eastern Orthodox.
yeah.
But if it doesn't come up in the show, then do we care?
Unless they're a cleric or a paladin or any other sort of class that requires religious contact. Not really. Of course, sometimes it's also good for just character building. Alrighty then, so. Now, what is the feat that this character has done? Like, have they shot 3 people with a single bullet? Have they chased someone across rooftops? Have they outsmarted an opponent without firing a single shot?
I don't know if he's done the first one, but I think those other 2, he's done both of those.
Okay then. Now, the talking down to somebody to make them like to surrender, was that from intimidation or was that just from like them letting him know that he's all out of options, he's got no other choice left?
That was letting them know they're out of options.
All right then. In that case,
It has
chasing
been
someone across
a hot minute
rooftops.
since I watched this series. It came out way before I was born.
All right. So,
I may throw
for
in
one
stuff
thing-
from Ducky, honestly, in here. I may as well reveal the meta thing at this point. The actor who plays in the series this character, whose name is Ilya Kuryakin, from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That actor also plays Ducky, who is the coroner on NCIS. And they actually make
Interesting.
reference to that in NCIS.
Alright, so, quick question. Does this guy know how to read lips?
Absolutely.
Alright, well, we're going to start off with multilingual, so that way they have their new languages,
Yeah.
which now brings them up to all the languages that they need to know. And next we give them the dual weapon reload. Or do you want to take one of these second level feats here, or first level feats here that you didn't take before? There's Fake Out, where with a skilled flourish of your weapon, you force an enemy to acknowledge you as a threat. You then make an attack roll to aid the triggering attack. If you dealt damage to that enemy with the same weapon since the start of your last turn, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to that roll. There's Pistol Twirl, where your quick gestures and flare performance distract your opponent, leaving them vulnerable to a follow-up attack. You feint against an opponent within the required weapon's burst range increment. Basically, by twirling your pistol around like Revolver Ocelot, you make your opponent lower their guard enough where you can give them a quick shot.
I don't think he does Revolver Ocelot stuff.
Yep. Let's see, there's also Quick Draw, where you draw your weapon and attack with the very same motion. And Risky Reload. You practice a technique for rapidly reloading your firearm, but attempting to use this technique is dangerous gamble with your firearm functionality. Interact to reload a firearm, then make a strike with the firearm. The strike fail, the firearm misfires.
I think Quick Draw makes a lot of sense.
Alrighty then. So next we got ourselves a general feat here. Let's see here. He also did say that they were lip readers, so now they can read lips. So, do they have anything that's expert level in this case?
I would say since he works for Uncle, diplomacy would probably be the first thing to take to expert.
And there we are. Let's see here. At level 3, let's go ahead and set that up there. Let's see, treasure for new characters. Let's start them off at level 3 here. And as such, they start off with 75 gold. So we'll go ahead and set that to 75. Now, what are this guy's main weapons that they use?
First of all, you got a pistol.
Alright, all the way down to P then. No, that's pepper box. That's odd. I could have sworn that pistol was on here. Let's just go with proficient here. Then pick peppers. What's that? Let's see a revolver on here. It should be on here.
That actually surprises me that it's not on there. As well.
Indeed, because they've got King Pistol right there.
They got Clan Pistol.
A Clan Pistol?
Yeah, right below Clan Dagger.
Oh yeah, Clan Dagger, Clan Pistol.
Let me take a look at Clan Pistol, because that might be close to what we're looking for.
The tradition of dwarves displaying their clan's affiliations with special clan daggers goes back millennia, but many of the dwarf clans in Dungenhold have their own take on the tradition, with promising young gunsmiths claiming the adulthood by crafting a specialized personal firearm using the clan's unique smithing traditions. Losing or being forced to surrender their clan pistol is a terrible embarrassment for the dwarves that carry them.
So it's just a pistol. it is a pistol.
Yeah, it functions just like a regular pistol.
Yeah. I mean, it just says it's dwarf, but that doesn't really matter that much, really, in the grand scheme of things. That does it.
Let's see here. I'm gonna double check something here because
I was pretty sure that with G&G they just have pistols. They just plain have pistols.
Reviewer!
Dueling
Hello
pistol.
there, Raiders!
Dueling pistol.
Yes, they do have a dueling pistol. We can actually add that onto there. Hello there, how are you all doing today? How was Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, because I think a dueling pistol. It even says made for settling disputes when diplomacy fails, and that's exactly what a spy would need. Something for when diplomacy fails.
Uh-huh. So we'll go ahead and buy that for the 12 gold.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Oh,
concealable.
I'm glad to hear it was
That
fun.
works. That absolutely works.
Hey.
Alrighty then.
Hey, reviewer. How is my little meow meow doing?
Oh, good.
Now then, we can actually give this a potency rune, which will give it a +1 to attack and damage rolls whenever used.
Sure.
Only problem is it costs 35 gold.
Oh.
Do you want to use that money on that, or do you want to save it for, say, armor or any sort of magical item for later?
Before we start doing anything magical.
Alright, let's hold off before we do anything magical then.
Yep.
Now, do they wear any armor, or are they completely, like, unarmored?
Normally, he's just wearing a suit.
Alright, so they are unarmored. Do they have anything under the suit?
Nah, it's a spy show from the 60s. There ain't no way he's got a bulletproof vest.
Fair enough. Alright then. Then let's figure out what kind of gear they have and what kind of, Actually, hold on. Gunslinger. We have the trigger brand. Slinger's reload. Touch and go. That's that. I just thought that I would be able to find that on here, but not seeing it here.
Touch and go is down there.
Ah, here. Wielding a combination weapon. Your body's shadow, mask your hands steel. You can step toward an enemy and you can interact to change your weapon between melee or ranged modes. You then interact to reload.
Well, I'm sure that eventually it can have a combination, but with the gear it got, I'm not sure. Actually, let me see if there's a pistol that's combination. Actually, why don't I just look up the combination? Duh. Dagger pistol.
Dagger pistol?
Dagger pistol.
Done.
Alright, so we can go ahead and swap out the dueling pistol for a dagger pistol then. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this.
Also, yes, reviewer, Jesus is building a character based on description of popular characters from media we give him.
Uh-huh.
And currently we are doing Ilya Koryakin from The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Alright, so that's a gift because there's no price there and it's 1/2 of that. Nope, stop that.
Oh, there's no price listed for the. I am sorry.
There's no.
this company.
Yeah, look, for the dagger pistol, there's two parts of it. There's the pistol part and then there's the dagger part. So basically, you buy it once, but you get both the melee up here and the range down here.
Oh, okay, that worked. Yeah. 'Cause that's...
All right. Let's go ahead and check out gear, shall we? Now, there are the obvious, such as the healing potions and whatnot, rations. And now, since this is a level 3, you guys are able to get things up to 3rd level here. That can range anywhere between, like, Tengu Feather Fan, a Rhythm Bone, the Downlight. So is there anything in particular that this person has on them that has always proven to be quite useful for them. Aside from weaponry.
Aside from weapons, I would imagine. Okay, hear me out. I'd imagine that he has like a badge.
A badge? All right.
A member of Uncle. Like I know I've seen him with one. But hear me out. What if it was a wayfinder in terms of making a pathfinder?
Let's see here. Pathfinder's coin. One second, I'm gonna have to try and find out where to find that. Yeah,
Because a wayfinder is kind of like a badge for the Pathfinder Society. So
yes.
A wayfinder is a worn item. So I think that's why you weren't finding it, because you were in held items. And it's level 2, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Here we are, Wayfinder. That costs a good 28 gold. We can go ahead and buy that. That leaves you with 39 gold left over.
I would imagine he's got some kind of... God, is there a spy pack? There's got to be...
Yeah, that's a good question.
There's got to be some kind of pack. Right? There's got to be some kind of pack.
Let's see, disguise kit,
That's more of a subtle thing than this guy's kid, I think.
spyglass, thieves' tools,
Kits, I think, is what I'm looking for.
Alright, cartographer's kit, climbing kit. Repair kit.
Oh, they do have class kits.
Uh-huh. But there's no spy class. There's a rogue class.
The rogue kit comes with leather armor, which he doesn't really have. Oh, those come with like weapons and stuff, which we've already bought weapons. Okay, it does come with an adventurer's pack, a climbing kit, and thieves' tools. So I think
adventurer's pack.
Well, it doesn't come with thieves' tools. Thieves' tools is an option, but I think adventurer's pack, climbing kit, and thieves' tools would be the main ones.
All right.
Looking at that gives me an idea of like what I'm looking for. So there you go.
All right. So overall, it's about 5. That's about 4 gold spent right. Sorry, 5 gold spent right there.
Yeah.
Leaving with 34 gold left.
I feel like everybody should have an adventure pack if you're gonna make a character.
Let's see, if memory serves.
That was 35.
35.
Could go ahead and do that.
Nope, you're short 1 gold.
No, short one. Okay. Yeah. See, this is why getting this is why getting the mundane stuff out of the way first. I think got just about everything you're like.
All right. Then in that case,
to put his name in the chat.
if anything, you can put it in the Discord chat so I can just type it in here or copy and paste it.
Yeah,
Because it sounds like it's quite the unique name.
It is.
I mean, it is Russian, so
it is Russian.
it is very Russian.
Ilya Koryakin.
All right, and do you also happen to have a picture of them?
I have had the Wikipedia page up this entire time.
All right, you send the picture my way, and we can put it onto the character sheet for you.
Not a problem.
You try and enjoy your work on the comic page there, Midnight Moonflower. Try to be safe.
Gotta say, being more used to D&D feels weird. 25 foot movement speed, being normal.
Oh yeah.
Feels very strange. I have put it in the Discord chat.
All right, just gonna go ahead and save that image.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, that's what everyone in the 60s thought. That's what every woman in the 60s thought.
Oh, he's cute.
Cuter than me.
Ontario, that's another one on the list. Fuck you.
All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and save this character right here. And we're gonna create the character sheet PDF.
Fantastic.
This way, if any of you guys ever do want to play as them, you'll now have the character sheet up and ready.
Fun.
18 AC at level 3 is pretty poggers, gotta say.
All right. Saving that right over there. Now, next, who's gonna go second?
Ontario, you, me.
Rock, paper, scissors.
What?
All right. I'm gonna count to 1, 2, and 3. When I say 3, you guys entering your little answer in the group chat here.
Wait, what answer? What are we answering? Ah.
You're gonna answer with either rock, paper, or scissors.
Oh, okay.
All right. You're gonna hold off till I say 3. When I say 3, you guys hit enter.
All right.
1, 2, 3. All right. Looks like Ontarioku won.
All right.
I am curious who you have brought to the dance.
Yeah.
My character, much like myself, is living impaired, so undead.
Now what kind of undead? Are they a Dampier? Are they a skeleton? Are they a zombie?
They are a
Are
skeleton.
they a mummy?
Unfortunately,
Okay,
they're
they
not
are
a
a
mummy.
skeleton.
They are a skeleton.
Alright, so skeleton. That is very easy here.
I want to see how quickly I can figure
There's
out
a skeleton ancestry here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were they when they were alive? Or rather, what are they right now?
Well, before this, they were a part of a guild, which was made up of a group of non-human guild members.
Oh. I feel as if I know who you're talking about here.
I think you probably do, but let's see how long it takes other people to figure it out.
Uh-huh. Let's see here. So they were the leader of a guild already.
Well,
so
they
that
were a
means that they're-
member of a guild. They weren't the leader. Now, basically, they have become like the leader in the absence of other members of the guild.
Hmm.
Think I'm starting to know.
Alright, now, before they were the member of a guild, what were they? Like, what was their profession that they did outside of adventuring?
I'm trying to remember what they did. I think it was like general bookkeeping or care of magical items or something like that. I'm trying to remember what it was. I even just like, if I remember correctly, it was like I thought it was like bookkeeping or something like that.
Yeah. Let's see here. I believe they have something similar to that.
Type.
Barista.
Bibliophile.
You're trained in Arcana skill.
Oh, why
It doesn't really say what a bibliophile is.
Book person.
I know it's someone who loves books, but that's something I would expect from Maine from Bookworm. Let's see here. I think there might be something closer to that. Let's see here.
Is there a librarian?
I'm going down here just to see if I can double check this here.
I'm gonna look on the Purity Wiki.
Firebrand, Honor, Fortune, Gladiator.
No, actually. Oh wait, yes, there is. Well, there is something like that. Actually, this might fit.
Oh, let's hear it.
A cult librarian.
Yeah, that probably fit.
PQ. Here we are, Cult Librarian. Hour spent reading numerous things, you gain 2 ability boosts, one of which must be intelligence or wisdom, and the other one is free. You are trained in occultism and academia lore. Now, their class. What is it that their specialty does in terms of class?
Well, they're definitely a spellcaster.
Okay. Now, the type of spellcasting that they do they prepare the spells in advance, or do they just cast them on a whim?
They can basically cast them on a whim.
Alright, so they're most likely a sorcerer. Now, let's go over their stats. As a sorcerer, one of their key abilities that they're going to want is charisma.
Well, he's certainly a charismatic individual, but he's also kind of a little bit oblivious to his own charisma, I suppose.
Okay, that tracks with the intelligence.
Dump the shit out of intelligence.
Intelligence is already dumped because it's already got a negative for that and the positive from the background, which can either be intelligence or wisdom.
Well, he's certainly a wise individual. He's knowledgeable on certain factors, on like abilities and weapon types, strategy, but
I don't know, that sounds more like book intelligence, and that wisdom would be the ability to see what's right in front of you. Because you would use wisdom to see the world around you, and you'd use intelligence to analyze it.
Fair, very fair.
Now, in terms of physicality, are they strong? Do they have constitution?
They're a strong individual. They're like very powerful, but they don't really need to be.
Now, strong in the sense is that they can throw a punch, or strong in the sense that they can take a punch?
Bit of both. It's also like he's a high level, but since we're doing like up to level 3, let's say he's probably.
Oh no, we're gonna try to make it as close to accurate to the source material as we possibly can with these characters. But let's see here. Let's go with Constitution here. And in terms of the free boosts, how does Strength, Con, Charisma, and Intelligence sound?
Say again?
How does Strength, Constitution, Intelligence, and Charisma sound? If you want to change any of them around here at the free boosts at the bottom here, let me know and I can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good kind of thing. Like, he's certainly powerful. Like, he's not going to be, like, dashing across the field anytime soon, but...
So next, we got 3 skills to choose from. They already got Academia and Occultism.
I definitely consider it Intimidation. I mean, this is a guy with a big, like, skeleton face, so he's obviously going to be able to...
Yes, he has quite the visage.
He's definitely knowledgeable about the arcane.
Alright. And that leaves one more skill.
A little further down.
Performance?
Performance? Yeah, I'd probably think. Yeah, definitely performance, because he's certainly a very grand individual.
All right. So let's go ahead and choose our bloodline. Now, this could be anything that stems from actually having magic. Now, being undead actually gives you the divine spell list, meaning you'd be able to cast the same spells as a cleric would that you're thinking of. Meanwhile, we got things such as Imperial, which is where one of your ancestors was a mortal who mastered magic, and such magic blood to remain latent into your generations, and that's something you would expect from regular wizards and sorcerers. But if you can think of a different heritage that this undead might have, such as the power of the dragons, powers of the devils, powers of the angels, powers of the demons.
Powers of the devils and demons, which are two separate things.
Yes.
And demons. I think. Well, he is undead, but he has a certain, regality and title to him, so maybe Imperial?
All right. Now, in terms of the skeleton that they are they like a compact one, sort of like a goblin or a dwarf skeleton? Are they a monstrous skeleton like a lizard man or a gargoyle?
He's humanoid, but certainly monstrous. He's definitely taller than a normal human. It's almost like in a very gaunt, sort of very sharp look to him. So I don't know, if you'd say maybe giant or Goliath or something along those lines. I'm not...
Sturdy would probably a good one, because that's hazardous conditions are not suitable for the average skeleton, so necromancers might choose to reanimate the bones of a dwarf, orc, or other creature with a reputation for sturdiness. It automatically gives them an extra 10 hit points instead of the 6 for the diehard feat.
Yeah, that sounds
Oh,
fair.
sorry. And now for
I'm not
ancestry.
Sure if I know who this is.
I think I do.
Alright, so, as an ancestry feat for being a skeleton, you have as in life, so in death. Where, as your skeleton self, you still have flashes of your life before you became a skeleton. You have collapse, where if you are attacked, you can literally play dead, and then this gives you... Well, it lets you attack an opponent flat-footed if they are stupid enough to fall for such a ploy. Well, hold on, that's play dead. Collapse, you collapse to a pile of bones, mitigating the worst of the damage you would have taken from the triggering attack, only the amount that would deal on a normal hit. Okay, so basically if an opponent tries to critical hit you, collapse will let you then make that into a regular hit as opposed to a critical hit that hits you. And then undead empathy, which lets you have a stronger bond with those that are undead, both mindful and mindless.
Probably the undead empathy, because it's probably gonna get around that he's neutral good, but general he doesn't really feel much for anything. He could slaughter a group of people and feel literally nothing.
Ooh, that sounds like a rather evil action right there. Now, would you say they're chaotic, neutral, or lawful?
I'd say they're neutral good. They side with their own
neutral
selves.
good?
They're... I'd say that they're neutral good. They will help if it benefits them in some factor, but they're not outright, monstrous in their own design.
I don't know. If you say they're neutral good, I'll believe you, but... And now for gender, you kept on using him, so I would assume that's assumed to make it a male?
Yep.
Alright. So, now comes the fun part. What are some of the jumping the sharks moments that this character has done that no normal adventurer could have done?
Let's see. He's tanked attacks from incredibly powerful creatures. He has one-shotted high-level assassins. He has...
Now, how does he one-shot those high-level assassins?
He once basically crushed a person's spine with his bare arms.
Oof. That is quite the strong grip.
Sorry.
Down, girl.
Alright, so they crush somebody with their own arms. That's... Yep.
They destroyed a high-level angel.
Okay, now a high-level angel. How did they do that?
If I remember correctly, it was like they basically cast a spell that was like a black hole.
Ah, okay, now that's something I could probably use here. Huh. Alright, let's see here. It is not giving me a chance to see. Alright, so they are an arcane caster, but let's... Ah. Let's try that out. Let's see here. Because that sounds like the type of spell that they cast was pretty high level.
Well, they are an incredibly high-level caster.
Let's see. Shape Change, Resplendent Mansion, Proliferating Eyes, Prismatic Sphere. Implosion! You crush the target by causing it to collapse on itself, dealing 75 damage. The first time you sustain this spell each round, you must choose a new target to crush the target. You must choose a new target to be subject to the same effect. The same creature can never be targeted more than once with a single casting of the spell. And so, since you said that this person literally just black holed a angel out of existence, that means that that angel must have had a 75 HP or less. So, yeah. This person knows a 9th level spell. At least. Let's see here. Cataclysm. Nope. Cataclysm just does elemental damage. But yeah, this character has... Yeah, this character definitely has 9th level spells, which means that they are, at the very minimum, 18th level. Let's go over just some of their more distinguishing figures. Now, their heritage. They're a skeleton. But are they just a skeleton?
They are, like, just a skeleton. I mean, technically you could say before that they were human at one point, but that was a long time ago on almost another plane of existence, let's say.
Yes. So, they're just a skeleton. They're not a lich, they're not a mummy, they're not...
Well, I mean, he can control and has armies of the undead at his command, but...
They're not a cookie, are they?
They are not a cookie. I am not picking cookie run characters.
Okay.
I know which character Ontarioku is chosen now.
I had a feeling you'd know who it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I pretty much do.
We're talking about none other than Momonga, otherwise known as Heinz Old Gold.
I believe it's a Z after the N.
Now, this is a fun one.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is a fun one. Because this one actually is a special dedication specifically for them. Let's see here, where are they? It should be there. No, that's not it. Maybe under 16th level? That's odd, I swear it could be there. Ah, expert in crafting. That's what it is. Well, one thing's for certain. In order to take that ability, you need to be an expert in crafting. Which means by the minimum of level 12, you would be able to take the dedication known as Alright, come on. Living. Oh, there has to be a living creature.
That is stigmatism against the living impaired.
Yeah,
How
you
dare.
can't go from skeleton to lich specifically from that direction. Oh well.
Oh well.
But as an 18th level character, they do have quite some fun stuff here. They have Ancestral Blood Magic, which is the magic of the bloodline mixes in with that of their ancestry. So you gain your blood magic effect when you cast a non-cantrip spell you gain from a heritage or an ancestry feat in addition to your normal circumstance that trigger your blood magic. They can counterspell. They have Dangerous Sorcery, which your legacy grants you great destructive power when you cast a spell with your spell slots. And if the spell deals damage and doesn't have a duration, you gain a status bonus to that spell's damage equal to your spell level. They can get themselves a familiar, they can have better reach with their spells, have better AoE with their spells. They can forge a mystical connection with an ally using your body as the focus, allowing them to benefit from your magic. So you can place a blood rune on an adjacent ally that lasts for 1 minute, and when you would gain a blood magic effect, you can forego it, granting it to your ally instead. There's Cantrip Expansion, which basically expands your cantrips. And as a sorcerer, you would gain 2 additional cantrips from your spell list of your repertoire. And then there's Entreat with Forebears, where if you have a bloodline that corresponds with a creature trait, something about the presence causes creatures of your bloodline to consciously, or not, recognize you as one of their own, and you become inured with their tricks. You gain a +1 circumstance to diplomacy, deception, and intimidation checks when interacting with those creatures. What sounds good to you, Ontario?
Let me just pull it up a little bit more see clear. It's a little bit fuzzy for me. I think probably Anoint Ally.
Alright, Anoint Ally it is. Now, tell us a little bit about Momonga. Like, do they have any special skills, aside from combat?
Well, they have certainly a variety of powerful abilities. They have a wide collection of magical items that they could use both combatively and out of combat. Trying to think. Like more like feat-wise or like tool-wise, or kind of thing.
More like out of combat wise. For example, are they able to wield a magic item that is specifically not one that they can use?
Yes. Even though they are a spellcaster, they do have a set of armor which allows them to use melee weapons outside of that.
But it's just the armor that lets them do that. They can't do that on their own?
They cannot do that on their own. It's the armor that bypasses that ability.
Unfortunately, the trick magic eye would not work then, because that basically allows them to make a check without any help from any outside items.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let's see here. Well, they did mention that they seem to be very quick to identify things and creatures, so quick identification might be useful.
Oh, definitely.
Alrighty then. Let's see, a general feat. Untrained improvisation. You've learned how to handle situations when you're out of your depth. Your proficiency bonus to untrained skill checks is equal to half your level instead of the +0. And if you're 7th level or higher, the bonus increases to your full level instead. This doesn't allow you to use the skill's trained actions.
Yeah, he definitely has the ability to bluff, so I think that would fit him well.
Alrighty then. And we also got ourselves a new skill. Is there anything we want to make to expert, or anything that we want to just make trained now?
How about diplomacy?
Alright, diplomacy it is. There's something I want to check out here. Let's see here. Ghost Hunter, Ghost Eater, Ghost, Ghoul, Mummy, Oozemore, Packbinder. Reanimator! Let's see. There's also should be in for there is no Necromancer there. Well. Bespell Weapon. Once per turn, your most recent action was to cast a non-cantrip spell. You siphon the residual energy from your last spell and cast it into one weapon you're wielding. Until the end of your turn, the weapon deals an extra 1d6 damage depending on what school you last cast it from. Does that sound like something that Ainz would do? They would cast a spell and then use the leftover magic, then put it into a weapon?
Probably.
Alrighty then. Time for another skill. Efficient Explorer, Cognitive Crossover, Ambush Tactics, Eyes of the City, Virtuistic Reformer, Streetwise. Recognize Spell. That sounds like something that a master spell caster should be able to do.
That definitely fits.
Level 5. We got 4 ability boosts to put up. What are your 4 choices?
For Wisdom, Constitution, Intelligence, and Charisma.
Alrighty then. So do we have anything we want to upgrade?
Let's... let's upgrade Deception.
Alright. And what else?
Oh, we have another.
Yes, we got Deception here, so I can take care of that.
One more, though. How about another for lore?
Alright, Lore
Just
Academia.
a minute, guys. I'll be right back.
Alright, be safe. And now for an ancestry feat. We have Fey Influence, where you have been exposed to powerful Fey magic, and you become trained in the primal DCs and spell attack rolls. You gain the Fey trait and one of the following features.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome
There's the Anteater feature, where you can launch your tongue forward at a deadly attack, gaining grim tendrils. Keishi, where you can have cat-like features and can appear as mundane as cat pest form. Cursed Bluebird, you have blue feathers or wings, and it is terrible luck to harm a bluebird. You can manifest that power as an ill omen. Dryad, power of The body is covered in elegant vines, granting the power to summon plants and fungus. Fawn, your legs and feet are swift as possible, hooved, and granting you fleet step. Gremlin, you have long, bat-like ears and gain bane. Monarch, you have vestigial insectile features and gain spider string. And finally, Unicorn. You have a magical horn, prominent symbol or prominent symbol of one on your forehead, such as you can cast Heal. This feat gains the trait appropriate with your ancestry, humans for human, goblin for goblin, etc. Let's see, there's also past life, where flashes of your life become clearer and more frequent, allowing you to apply skills you developed while alive. You become trained in a skill of your choice and gain an additional lore feat.
As well as fun as the Fey influence would be when making unicorn wizard jokes, I think past life is probably most applicable.
Ah, good, because the next one I was about to say is there's Well Armed, where you can literally detach your arm and use the detached arm to hold onto a sword and have an extra 5-foot reach with your weapon. Alright, past life.
No, save that for making Sir Daniel Fortescue.
So, what lore does Ainz or Momonga have? What was the name of the world that he used to live in before?
Yggdrasil?
Yggdrasil. I hope I spelled that right.
I think it's like a Y and 2 G's?
Yes.
Y, 2 G's.
And I think it's
R-
stylized as being all in all caps.
I wouldn't know that for this particular series.
For this particular series, I do remember that it's in all caps.
Oh, it looks like due to skill training, you get an extra skill.
What do we add to this one? I guess religion.
Alright. They can now identify angels. Now, for another class feat, we got Steady Spellcasting, Spell Relay, Energetic Resonance, Diverting Vortex, Detonating Spell, and Advanced Bloodline.
What's
Let's see.
the energetic resonance?
Alright, requirement? You have an unexpended spell slot of a level equal to or higher than the triggering spell. The trigger is when you would take acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic damage from a spell. Your blood resonates with the magical energy, mitigating the effects of the harmful spell. Expend one of your spell slots of a level equal or higher than that of the triggering spell. You gain resistance to one of the triggering effect's damage types equal to twice the expended spell slot level. So if you get hit with a fireball and you have a fire spell in your repertoire, you can get rid of that fire spell if it is equal or higher level than what was cast, and you gain fire resistance equal to double your level.
Now that sounds nice.
Sounds very nice.
There's also Advanced Bloodline, which grants you secrets of your magic, and you gain the Advanced Bloodline spell associated with your bloodline. And you can increase the number of your focus points up by 1. And focus points are pretty much like special spells that spellcasters can do that take special points, in this case the focus points. There's also spell... Sorry, yes?
I think I'll go with the resonance.
Alright. Alright, pretty much the same skills as before. Let's see here. Reveal true name. You attempt to get a creature to do as you wish by threatening them with the knowledge of their true name. You must know and speak the creature's true name and say that you want that creature to do. attempt an intimidation check against the target's will DC.
I think.
Upon a success. Sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say that would definitely fit for someone as knowledgeable as Hines.
Alright, we are almost there. So we have 1 skill point to spend.
Uh, Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
Oh, am I still there?
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
that's
Yes,
Tom.
you're still here.
Oh,
quiet
wait. Sorry, I was checking something. Yes, it's my turn.
Almost. We're
Yeah.
Yeah.
There. I said add another point to lore.
alright, Lore Academia. Alrighty then. Another general feat here. Actually, you did mention this guy wears armor. What kind of armor was that?
I forget what the armor was called. I know it was like a heavy set sort of just like
Was it full plate, breastplate?
it was definitely full plate.
Alright, full plate armor. So that's going to be heavy armor. So we're going to need to do a few things of armor proficiency to get that. Or... Actually, we can hold off on that for a bit. I want to test the thing out here. Ah, hello there, Fink Scepter. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Church of RNG. Okay, nope, that wouldn't work. Alrighty then, back to this then. Let's see here. We could give them armor proficiency a couple of times there. This will allow them to actually wear heavy armor by the time we get to... We'll bring more skill feats, I believe, or general feats. That way they can wear the... Yeah, because I was originally going to be putting them down for a fighter feat, but... Yeah, unfortunately they wouldn't be able to get the armor bonuses from that.
Yeah, and like I think part of it is like he doesn't really have any of the fighter feats. He basically just plays it like a full tank. Like he just wields weapons and just swings them around with no abandon.
Yeah, I think he's dual wielding too, right?
Yeah, like dual wielding like 2 Buster Swords.
Yeah, that sounds like that guy might be just stealth then.
Yeah.
Anywho, back over to the class feats here. We got a couple here that are interesting. We got Soul Sight, which, requires them to have Bloodline that grants divine or occult spells, and right now you don't have either of those, so that's not going to be something you can do yet. Safeguarded Spell. You bring the magical wavelengths of your spell into sync with ones provided by your own body. If the next action you take is to cast a spell with an area, you aren't affected by the spell even if you are within that area. Which means you can self-cast Fireball and not get hurt by it.
That does sound very tempting.
There's also Cross-Blooded Evolution. Odd interactions with your bloodline provide you with unexpected spells. You can have one spell in your spell repertoire that from a tradition other than the one that that matches your bloodline. You cast that spell as a spell from your bloodline's tradition. You can swap which spell you add, and from the tradition you could... and from which tradition as you could any other sorcerer spell. But you can't have more than one spell from another tradition in your spell repertoire at the same time using this feat. And there's also Bloodline Resistance. Your magical blood makes you more resistant to magic. You gain a +1 status bonus to saving throws against spells and magical effects.
I think the idea of a skeleton having magical blood is funny.
It is funny.
It is very funny, but I think the safeguard one is probably the best bet.
Arcane Senses. You study magic allows you to instinctively sense the presence and allows you to cast the first level Detect Magic as an arcane innate spell. If you are a master in arcane, the spell is heightened to 3rd level, and if you are legendary, it's heightened to 4th level. Let's see, what else is there? And there's still the same stuff as before. There's also a Charming Liar, where your charm allows you to win over those you lie to. When you get critical success using the lie action, the target's attitude towards you improves by 1 step. As if you succeeded using your diplomacy to make an impression. There's also Eye for Numbers, where you learn to subsize, quickly estimating the number of items in a group with relative accuracy at only a glance. You immediately learn the number of the visually similar items in a group and can see, such as coins, books, people, rounded to the nearest digit and the total number.
What was the first one you mentioned?
Arcane Sense.
I think that'd probably be making the most sense.
Oh, right. So we have another skill point here.
Put it to intimidation.
Ancestry feats. So we have Bone Missile. You can remove your ribs and use them as arrows or bolts. When you draw your rib, you lose 2 HP and the projectile deals 2 extra negative damage. If you strike with it before the end of your next turn, the HP loss and extra damage both increases to 3 at 12th level and 4 at 19th. Your ribcage magically replenishes and any ribs you draw crumbles to dust after being used as to strike at or at the end of your next turn, whichever comes first. There's the Rejuvenation Token, where you tie yourself to the material plane by implanting a piece of your consciousness into a weapon, piece of armor, or other item that is precious to you. As long as the object is intact, even if your body is destroyed, you can be restored at the exact state that you were the last time you made your daily preparations with this object in your possession. Basically, your phylactery. And Skeletal Resistance. Your body becomes resistant and your hardened bones deflecting weapons from other forms of damage. You gain a +2 to cold, electric, fire, piercing, and slashing damage.
I think
the resistance becomes...
As much as Bone Missile sounds fun, I think Resistance is probably the one that fits best.
Yeah. But bone missiles would be very fun.
It does sound fun. Alright, so you got 4 more ability points.
Alright, let's put them to Strength, Constitution, Wisdom, and Intelligence.
Alrighty then. So, Strength, Dexterity, Charisma, and Intelligence?
Yep.
Alright, so you gain another skill point.
Go with... Let's go with Medicine.
Here we are. So, there's Greater Bloodline, which lets you gain a focus point as well as gaining another focus spell. Overwhelming Enemy. You alter your spells to overcome resistances. If the next action you cast is to cast a spell, the spell ignores an amount of target's resistance to acid, cold, electric, fire, or sonic damage equal to your level. This applies to all damage that spell deals, including persistent damage and damage caused by ongoing effect of the spell. There's also quickened casting, where once per day, if your next action is to cast a sorcerer cantrip or a spell that is at least 2 levels lower than your highest sorcerer spell slot, you can reduce the number of actions to cast it by 1, to a minimum of 1 action. And signature spell expansion, where your innate connection to the magic lets you cast more spells with greater freedom. You gain 2 additional signature spells, each of which can have the minimum level of 3rd or lower. And that lets you cast lower level spells at higher levels for more damage or better effects.
I think the overwhelming energy probably fits the best.
Alright, and time for another skill. Now, how often does Ainz actually lead an ambush? Like, they actually plan something out and ambush their opponent?
It's not often. It's more like straight-on attacks.
Alright then. Can they read lips?
I'm not sure.
Alright. Would they be able to at least identify oddities at a glance?
I definitely think so.
Alright, another skill point.
Put it to diplomacy, please.
Alright. Armor proficiency, that should make it medium armor now. Let me double check here. Yep, medium armor is trained. Last feat. There is Magic Sense, where you literally have a 6th sense for ambient magic in your vicinity. You can sense the presence of magic auras as though they were always using a 1st level detect magic spell. This detects magic in your field of vision only. When you seek, you gain the benefits of the 3rd level detect magic spell, which basically tells you the highest level energy field around you. And you can turn your senses on and off as a free action. There's the Bloodline Focus, where your focus recovers faster if you have spent at least 2 focus points since the last time you refocused. And Blood Component Substitution. You can bypass the need for incantations and gestures by drawing energy directly from your blood.
Well, since it's a skeleton, I don't think blood really makes that much sense, so I think magic sense is probably best.
I was about to say, they have marrow. Marrow is nothing if not blood bone, or bone blood.
True, but not much blood flowing without any veins.
Eyes of the City. You can track down targets with the help from locals. You can use diplomacy or society, whichever you're trained in, to track creatures and settlements. There's also quick coercion, where you can bully others with just a few choice implications. You can coerce a creature after 1 round of conversation instead of 1 minute. You still can't coerce a creature in the midst of combat or without engaging in conversation.
I think Eyes in the City definitely makes sense.
Alright, another skill point.
Yeah, I think... let's
put it for Arcana.
Alrighty then, another ancestry feat. There is skeletal transformation. You rearrange your bones into a bestial shape once per day. You can cast animal form as a divine innate spell. When you cast it, you can choose the spell's level from 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Your battle form looks like a skeletal version of the animal in that form. You retain the benefits of any skeletal feats that do not require the use of hands and the ability to communicate. I would personally go with the rejuvenation token myself.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Sorry, my screen was taking a little bit to load. It looked Russian for a second.
Alright, more class feats.
Ilya
We have-
has shown up. He's
Ilya?
alive.
Moving
The
character.
screen looked Russian for a second.
Well, there's Interweave the Spell, where if you have Dispel Magic in your spell repertoire, you can weave dispelling energy into a spell, sending both effects at a foe. So basically, you can hit him with a fireball and then dispel magic right afterwards. There's Purifying Breeze, which requires you to use divine spells, which you don't have. And Spell Shroud. Your spell shrouds you in billowing clouds, and if your next action is to cast a spell that targets you, you surround yourself in a 15-foot emanation of dense magical mist. This lasts until the start of your next turn. All creatures within the cloud become concealed, and all creatures outside of the cloud are concealed to creatures within it.
I think the Dispel probably makes the most sense.
Alright, skill feats. Let's see here. Well, there's Bun Maw, which basically allows you to make an insightful quip at a foe, distracting them. Basically, you get to quip at somebody like Spider-Man.
I don't think it'd be less of a quip, more just like a very scathing jab at them, or just more like a very like based on a lot of his like grandeur and intimidation, just more like I will see you horribly maimed or something along those lines.
You know, I'm surprised that they chose to say that in French, though.
It happens sometimes.
Wait,
Sarah,
that's
Sarah.
I was like, wait, that's French. What?
Whitish, that's French.
Carida. Anywho, you got another skill point.
Let's put it to occultism.
Alright. And ability boosts.
Wisdom, strength, constitution, and dexterity.
And now with this, they are officially trained in heavy armor. Now for a class sheet. Let's see, we have 3 new ones. We have Effortless Concentration, where you maintain a spell with hardly a thought. You immediately gain the effects of the sustain a spell action, allowing you to extend the duration of one of your active class spells. Scintillating Spell. Your spells become a radiant display of light and color if your next action is to cast a spell that doesn't have the darkness trait and has no duration and requires creatures to attempt a reflex save. The spell explodes into a spray of scintillating light. In addition to other effects, each creature that failed their reflex save against the spell is dazzled for 1 round. And those that critically fail are blinded for 1 round. And finally, Terraforming Spell. You capture transformative fragments of your magic and slam them again into the ground, creating a shockwave that alters your surrounding. If your next action is to cast a non-cantrip transmutation spell, either each space adjacent to you becomes difficult terrain, or each space adjacent to you no longer becomes difficult terrain.
I think definitely the effortless concentration.
Yeah. Alright, another skill feat. Ooh, Legendary Professional. It requires you to be legendary in lore, which, from the looks of it, you probably already are now. Your fame has spread throughout the lands. For instance, if you have the Warfare lore, you become Legendary General and Tactician. This works as a Legendary Performer, except that you gain higher level jobs when you earn income with lore.
Yeah, that definitely fits.
It really does.
Alright, last 2 levels. Another skill point.
Scroll down a little bit, please. Put a point to society.
Alright. Well, we got 2 level 17 ones. We got Necromantic Air. Your affinity for negative energy spells outward and grants you a refilling well of Necromantic Essence. Once per hour, you can cast Harm as a 6th level Divine Innate spell. And then there's Bone Swarm. Once per day, you scatter your body and transform into a whirling storm of bones. For up to 1 minute, or until you spend a single action to return to your normal shape, you become huge, gain the Swarm trait, and gain a fly speed of 40 feet. As a swarm, you have the following characteristics. You are immune to being grappled, prone, and restrained. You have weakness 5 to area and splash damage. You occupy the same space as other creatures and must do so in order to use your damaging abilities. As a 2-action activity, you can deal 10d6 bludgeoning damage to all creatures sharing your space, with a reflex save equal to your class DC or spell DC, whichever is higher. You can't speak, cast spells, or manipulate actions requiring your hands, activate magic items, or make strikes with your normal body. You don't gain the Swarm Mind ability, so you still are affected normally by mental effects. You also retain the benefits of skeleton feats that don't require communication or the use of hands.
As much as fun it was to do like a full storm of bones, I think probably Necromantic Air probably is the most sense. I need to kind of make up just a Pathfinder build that's just all of the bone spells.
Alright,
the bone
class
zone
feat.
now.
So, for 18th level, there is a class feat that lets you use echoing spells. You time the components of your spells with exacting precision, setting up a resonance that duplicates the spell's effects. If your next action is to cast a spell of 4th level or lower that has no duration, the spell's energy reverberates and echoes. You can cast the spell a second time before the end of your next turn without expending a spell slot. So you use this and you cast Fireball, and it lets you cast Fireball again.
Just fireball, just fireball, just fireball. Yeah, that sounds good.
Alright, and the last skill feat. Discreet Inquiry. You are settling your efforts to learn the things that you need to know. When gathering information, you can hide the true subject of your inquiry along other topics of little interest to you without increasing the difficulty of the check to taking more time to gather information.
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Now, seeing as how they're more of a spellcaster than anything else, let's at least go over like some of the spells that they've at least been able to show and do. Let's see here.
Actually have the full abilities list up, and oh my, it goes on a ways. Let's see. Acid immunity, arcane vision, see-through invisibility, intricate immunity.
Alright, that's something I can add into here. I believe that's a 2nd level spell here. Beware, see invisibility.
Negative energy, speak evil tongues, unholy protection.
Alright, so protection from good. Let's see, do we have that here? Yeah, it's a first level spell, that's why. I thought it should be here. Ah, it's Divine and Occult, that's why. Oh, there goes that option.
Magic arrow, summon first level undead, shockwave, fireball.
Alright, the magic arrow I can at least do, we can just call that magic missile. And then we got ourselves fireball. And you said another one was called shockwave? What does that do?
Let's see, shockwave. A second tier spell that emits an invisible shockwave that can distort the air and easily crush full plate armor. So, I don't know if that's more close to like Shatter or Thunderstep. Sorry, I'm using 5th edition rules.
No, that's fine. Let's see here. There is Shockwave, which is a first level spell. It lets you create a wave of energy that ripples through the earth. Terrestrial creatures in the affected area must attempt a reflex save to avoid stumbling, where upon a critical failure, the creature falls prone and takes 1d6 damage.
Yeah, I thought that's close enough.
Alright, they should also be able to animate dead, right?
Yep, because like it was like summon undead first level.
Alright, so let's go ahead and give them all the ones there, because let's face it, that is definitely a spell that they would most likely use. Dead. Which means now he has the ability to summon creatures of 15th level or lower that are undead. Let's see, I'm trying to see if there are any spells that let him stop a heart here. Tell me, is he able to stop time?
I think it doesn't run. Undead army. Lock, illusion, healing. Prize mark for Pyro, level 1. Yeah, temporal stasis. That allows me to stop time.
Yeah, that is a, I forgot they got all these spells too. Door. Alright, I think we've gone on a little too long here with Heinz. I'll go in here because...
I shouldn't have picked a character this high level, I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, my choice might not necessarily be better in a sense.
Alright, so do
picked
you mind
this
sending me a
Spider-Man
picture of
with
Heinz so we can
lightning.
put him onto your character sheet?
Again?
You mind sending me a picture of Heinz?
Sure thing, just a moment.
So I think that it's funny how we picked three very different style of characters.
Hey, that's fine.
No,
I mean,
no,
when you're
no,
sitting
no,
down
it's great. It's just funny.
Well, you know, they say variety is the spice of life.
It really is.
Hmm.
Also, how fucking cliche is that the only girl here took a female character? I'm just gonna spoil that already, but... I wanna be the girl.
Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and save this right here. And export as a character sheet PDF. Because I gotta tell you, this is definitely a build.
It really is.
You'll have to use it for like the BBEG of a fight or something.
Well, considering how they start off with 190 hit points at level 18, AC of 35, with no armor, mind you, Fortitude of 26, Reflex of 25, Will of 26, Perception of 24. So, yeah. And now, on to our last character.
It's
Cherry.
me. Yes, yes, yes,
Let's get started with your ABCs.
yes.
What is their ancestry? What heritage are they?
Well, they're very much a human too.
And what is their background? What do they do when they're not adventuring?
Actually, they go to school, believe it or not. Yes,
Ah, so they're a student.
yes, they are. Well, she is. I already told that it's a girl, so
Yes.
she.
Are they a
very-
student of magic?
No, but she does use magic.
She's
Okay,
just an
so it's a
average
magical
high school
girl.
student.
Yeah. I chose a magical girl. How funny is that, huh?
Alrighty then. So with that being all set, let's go ahead and discuss what kind of class are they. Now, what are the things that they do, like in combat?
Well, they're an archer,
Okay.
but they mostly channel magic through their weapon.
Ooh. Now that would be a Magus.
Ooh.
Specifically, that sounds like the Starlight Span. That allows them to channel magic through their archery, and then it lets them hit them with the spell and an arrow at the same time.
That actually sounds pretty accurate. Damn.
Alright, so let's go over their heritage. Now, you mentioned that they use magic. Is there a specific plane that they're tied to? Do they have ties with that plane, biologically?
Not really, but I guess in a sense they're under a contract with a creature.
Ooh. Contract with a creature.
Yeah.
Now, this creature, would they be an ASMR, which is someone from the plane of good? Aphorite, which is someone from the plane of law?
That's the thing. The creature is not real. It's not good or bad, but it's not necessarily good either.
Yeah, so do they follow a law? Do they create a contract with you and follow through with that contract to the very bitter end, both the good and the bad?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Alright, we'll put them down as Aphorite then, for the time being. Now, for ancestry feats, we do have the usual here, but we also have Witch Warden, which does allow ethnicity requirement, but you and your family have fought long and hard against witches, particularly the Winter Witches, but that's we can put that in for flavor for different campaigns. It basically allows you to get a +1 circumstance bonus to saving throws against curses, and to saving throws against spells cast by witches, hags, and if you roll a success on a saving throw against a curse or a spell cast by a witch or hag, it becomes a critical success instead.
Okay, that is really funny because that fits perfectly.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah, I wonder.
Alright, so since they're going to be using mainly range, dexterity would be one of the that they use for their bow,
Yeah.
and intelligence is what they would use for spells.
Yes.
Alright, now for their 4 core boosts. Which 4 do you want to go with?
That is a very good question. Well, people tend to love her a lot, so I guess charisma would work.
Uh-huh.
Dexterity, because, she uses a bow. She's a tough little cookie, all things considered. And, she's not, I wouldn't say that she's smart, but I would probably consider her wise. Because
Alright.
she doesn't jump into things. She very much thinks about what she wants before she does something.
Alrighty then, so next we're just going to need you to go ahead and choose one of these 3 items here. Nature for natural spells, occultism for occult spells, and religion for divine spells.
That's a tough one. Well, I guess occultism then? Yeah, that fits. That feels like it fits.
And you have 4 more spare ability points you can use on whatever.
So. That is a good question. Maybe diplomacy, because she's very much a people person. She tries to, make everyone get along.
Uh-huh.
What else? Can you scroll down, please?
Oh, sure.
Society, exactly, again.
Society, that's being able to figure out who's who in a crowd. Who's the big cheese, like who's the mayor, who's the king. As well as also figuring out what races are who.
Which? Yeah, sure, why not? Can I put the skills in a skill I already put already?
Not until later
Okay.
levels.
Okay. What else? Let me think.
Are they a performer? Do they sing, dance,
Not really.
play a musical instrument? Alright. Are they shown performing acrobatics such as jumping high, jumping
Big
far?
high, far, yes.
Are they athletic? Can they run for a long time?
They pretty much do a lot of running in the anime, so yes. Yeah,
Alright.
that's good enough for me, yeah.
Alright. So next let's go over their details. Are they good, evil, lawful,
she
chaotic?
is the goodest being that ever been.
And their age?
Let me check because I have the wiki here. She's 14. She is very much still a baby.
Ooh. Now, usually adventurers won't be able to go out until they become at least adult age, but this is just a
For
fun little character. Yeah. And they are female.
Oh, yes.
So, what is something that they've been able to do that not a lot of adventurers could do?
How about ascent to godhood?
Okay, we're going for another Irons here.
I mean, that's why I said I guess technically mine also counts.
Alright, so they ascended to godhood. Now that could mean many things, actually. So, what is something that they've done right before they attained godhood?
They made a wish.
Okay, wish. That is actually a spell that we can determine what they can do. Let's see here. Spells. But it's not on the mega spell list.
Huh.
Now, did they cast the wish like themselves? Did they cast the spell, or did they just make the wish?
They just made the wish.
Okay, so that's someone else applying the spell. So... let's see here. So they made a wish, but somebody else cast the spell to make the wish happen.
Yeah.
What happened before that? Like, did they fight any big bad? Did they...
yes. They did fight a big bad.
What kind of big bad was it?
A big bad witch. A very, very big bad witch. Witch.
Oh,
All right.
This says.
I have an idea who it is too, but...
I mean...
Okay, so... One thing that we do know about them is that they do cast spells, since they are a magical girl.
Mm-hmm.
What are some spells that they have cast?
Well...
They themselves, not someone else cast for them.
Yeah, well, mostly they do, they can, remove corruption from things simply by touching them.
Yeah, I know what this is.
Alright, they remove corruption.
So, think of it as like healing, I guess? But healing more in a sense of casting away the darkness and evil, whatever.
Well, there is a way that you can do that.
See?
First things first, we're gonna need to get them trained in religion.
Fair enough.
And they can do that as easily as level 3. And next we need to get them up to level 4, so let's go ahead and choose a class feat. Well, we have Spirit Sheath, where they can magically construct an extra-dimensional sheath for their weapon. So basically they pull it out of nowhere.
That is very fitting indeed, yes.
There's also Spell Parry, where you infuse magical power into your body or armament to parry both physical and magical assaults.
That less so. She does take some pretty good amount of damage when she's in a fight.
There's Magus Analysis, where you can make an assessment informed to your knowledge of how a creature fights, attempts to check a recall knowledge about a creature, and you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to check if you have previously hit the creature with a strike this turn. If your check is successful, recharge your spell strike. It basically allows you to look at an enemy, hit it, and see if you can recall anything about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's that smart.
There's also Familiar. You make a pact with a creature that helps you with your martial endeavors and assists your spell casting.
I mean, yes, absolutely, 100%. Let's do that.
Alright, because the next one I was about to suggest was Arcane Fist, where you cast Punch.
No, she does not punch.
Alright, so you get yourself a Familiar now. Now, are there any skills that they can do outside of combat?
Not really. She's just an ordinary girl.
Alright, just an ordinary girl, huh?
Yep.
Are they streetwise?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. No, she can be a little bit naive.
Alright. I doubt they would be schooled in secrets. Can they high jump and long jump as a single action instead of,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
can they... Yeah?
Yeah, when she's in magical girl form, she absolutely can do that.
Alright, next we go ahead and choose a general feat.
Ooh.
There's quite a few here. There's Untrained Improvisation, Prescient Planner, Keen Follower, Ancestral Paragon, Slippery Prey, Weapon Proficiency, Toughness, Student cannon, streetwise, steady balance. Quick squeeze. You squeeze 5 feet per round, 10 feet in a critical success. If you're a legendary acrobatic, you can squeeze at full speed.
Define squeeze in this case.
You fit into a space that you're normally not allowed to go into.
No, I don't think so. I mean, she is small, but...
Let's see, there's Hobnobber, where you're skilled at learning information through conversation.
Maybe.
Group Impression, when you make an impression, you can compare your diplomacy check result of the will DC of 2 targets instead of 1. It's possible to get a different degree of success for each target.
I'll put that at maybe...
Feather Step, you step quickly and carefully and quickly so you can step into difficult terrain.
That I could see her do. Again, magical girl powers, they always jumping and doing shit like that all the time.
Okay. And now for 4th level. Let's go ahead and choose a class sheet. Let's see, there's Striker's Scroll, where you attach a scroll to your weapon or hand wraps. And you basically hit him with the weapon and you can activate the scroll right after.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you can cast the spell from the scroll as part of a spell strike, assuming the spell is one that you could normally use in a spell strike. You can't cast the spell in any other way while it's fixed through, though you can affix a talisman again to remove the scroll and use it as normal.
No. What is...
Let's see. Starlit Eyes, where starlight shines in your sight, enhancing your perception and range. When you make a ranged strike while in Arcane Cascade stance, you lower the DC of your flat check to target the creatures that are concealed or hidden from you. The DC is reduced to 3 instead of 5.
You know what?
A concealed...
I think that's a good one. I like that one.
Alright, time for another skill.
Wait.
There's Slippery Prey, which lets you be able to escape from bonds much easier.
I don't know. What is Eyes of the City? I'm just curious.
Eyes of the City, you can track down targets with the help of locals, using diplomacy or society, whichever you're trained in.
Interesting.
There's also Steady Balance, which lets you keep your balance easier.
Mm-hmm.
There's Bargain Hunter. Catfall, where you use your cat-like aerial acrobatics to allow you to cushion your fall. Treat falls as 10 feet shorter, as if you were an expert in acrobatics. If you're an expert in acrobatics, treat the falls 25 feet shorter. And if you're a master, treat them 50 feet shorter. And if you're a legendary, you always land on your feet and don't take damage regardless of the distance you fall.
You know what? Why not?
And with that, you officially have enough levels to learn a ritual.
Ooh.
Let's see here. If I recall correctly, it should be... Purify Soul Path.
Ah, here we go. Oh, that is... Just the name is perfect.
Yep.
It's very on the nose.
Uh-huh. So, are there any other abilities that this character can do?
Well, she can fire arrows of energy to attack, even several at once, to attack several enemies.
Ooh. Let's see here. Focus spell, Shooting Star. You let loose a projectile that flies true and leaves the blazing trail of a meteor behind it, making a ranged strike, ignoring the target's concealment and reducing the target's cover by 1 degree for the strike only. Greater to standard to lesser, and lesser to none. If the strike hits, the meteor trail hangs in the air. This gives the benefit of concealment negation and cover reduction to any attacks made against the creature by anyone until the start of the next turn.
Oh, I like that.
Yep. This basically lets you home in your... Well, not home in your attack, but basically shoot your arrow. It has a better chance of hitting your opponent, and if it does hit your opponent, it basically helps other people be able to hit them as well with ranged attacks.
That is good.
Now, as a magus, your bread and butter are going to be spell strikes.
Mhm.
You'll be able to perform spell strikes every so often. As a matter of fact, let's go over here and... Here we are. You channel a spell into a punch, a sword, or whatever weapon. In your case, you're going to be using the bow. And you cast a spell that takes 1 or 2 actions to cast. It requires a spell attack roll. The effects of the spell don't occur immediately, but are imbued into your attack instead. You go ahead and make a strike with your weapon or unarmed attack. Your spell is coupled with the effect with your attack. Using the attack roll results determines the effects of both the strike and the spell. So if your arrow hits and it does a critical hit, not only does your weapon do critical damage, but your spell does critical damage.
Ooh. Yeah, that. Again, that sounds great.
After you use a spell strike, you can't do so again until you recharge your spell strike as a single action, which has the concentration trait. You also recharge your spell strike when you cast a conflict spell, and that takes at least 1 action to cast. Casting a focus spell of another type doesn't recharge your spell strike. As long as, yeah. So, they imbue their weapons with magic and fire. Is there any particular element that they do it with?
I guess light?
Light, huh? That's going to be interesting.
There it is.
So unfortunately, light isn't going to be one of those ones that actually deals damage.
Then
Yeah, unfortunately, the light spell only just sheds light here.
And I guess technically holy damage, maybe?
Okay, positive energy. Let's see if we got anything like that. Telekinetic projectile, sigil, shield, scatter scree, ray of frost, puff, poison, protection, musical accompaniment, message, mage hand, infectious enthusiasm, gouging claw, ghost sound, gale blast, electric arc, detect magic, daze, dancing light, chill touch, bullhorn, approximate, ancient dust, and acid splash.
Or we can just do the next best thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we do what we can with what we have, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe that can work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got phase bolt. Let's go ahead and choose a couple of other cantrips for you.
Maybe gale blast. You know, wind. Just go.
All right, gale blast cantrip. All right, wind flows from your outstretched hand and whirls around you in a 5-foot emanation. Each creature in the area takes bludgeoning damage equal to your spellcasting modifier, +2, and with a fortitude save. Let's go ahead and add light onto there. Now that I think about it, let's go ahead and check the first level spells. We might be able to find something there. Weapon. Mage armor, magic missile, magic weapon. Schadenfreude. Closest to the heavenly energy I can see so far would be Shocking Breath.
I mean, I saw illusory disguise, which I guess is what a magical girl is.
Yeah, we can add that to her spellbook.
What else? What else? I read the words deja vu and I go, deja vu.
I've been stuck in this place before. Higher on the street.
Deja vu.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, we can go ahead and get rid of
Because
illusory disguise for
Yeah.
fashionista.
yeah, because I mean, what is a magical nerd? A magical nerd, a magical girl, if not a fashionista.
No, we're sticking with magical nerd from now on.
Well, that's me.
Kinetic ram.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that could work.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, we also have a couple of second level spells here.
Ooh.
Now we get into the fun one. We got Bone Spray and Bone Shaker.
Boom. This spell magic I could see her do.
All right, adding that to our spellbook.
And what else?
Enlarge, Expeditious Excavation.
Final sacrifice.
All right, so you target one creature with the minion trait that you summoned or permanently control.
Okay, yeah, no, maybe.
Well, you're familiar with Count.
Yeah, no, but it would work better if it was for her. If she did it to herself.
Ah, so if she were the minion, got it.
Yeah. Ooh, Scorching Ray, what is that?
Scorching Ray? Oh, you fire a ray of heat and flames.
That's close enough to what she shoots, I guess?
Alright, just want to double check here real quick. Alright. Alright, so for weapon, we know that they at least are trained with a bow. What kind of bow? Short bow? Long bow?
I guess that is a longbow. Yeah, that is pretty big. There we go.
Alright. Oh, trips, it's right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and leave this in. Put in the proper amount for your gear. Here we are. Let's see. 4th level, you start off with 140 gold. So we'll go ahead and add that longbow back onto there.
Here it is. I see it.
Let's see here. If I recall correctly, yes, you could get Striking Rune. So, the Potency Runes let you add on a +1 to your attack and damage rolls for a better chance to hit and do damage.
Mhm.
Would you like to add one onto there?
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, the Striking Runes are special.
Mhm.
If you hit with your weapon, not only will it do that +1 damage from your weapon bonus, but it adds in an extra die. So your longbow is usually 1d6. Now it does 2d6.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. It does 2d8.
Ooh.
Let's see here. In terms of your gear now, you still have 34 gold left over.
Hmm.
Now, does she wear any armor, or is it just magical clothing?
It is just A cute little dress. No armor, no nothing. Just magical clothing.
Hmm. Alright, well, that's something else I can do onto there is... Nope, never mind. Can't give you mage armor. But maybe... Let's see, magic items, worn items... Let's see here... Here we are. That is... Pathfinder 1, never mind. And that's a thaw, so that's not going to happen.
Oh no.
Alright. Let's see here. No, can't enchant clothing, so that's out of the question. Well, I guess that just about does it. You have 34 gold left over. Is there anything that she owns that would be of significant use to her?
I guess she got some kind of magic jewel.
Okay, so she has a magical jewel.
Yeah, does that count?
Now, where did she wear this jewel? Is it around her neck? Is it around
it's
her
around
wrist?
her neck, in her case.
A brooch of shielding might be useful. This piece of silver or gold jewelry is adorned with a miniature image that looks like a kite shield and can be used to fasten a cloak or cape. The brooch automatically absorbs magic missile spells targeting you.
Yeah.
And it can absorb up to 30 individual magic missiles before it melts and becomes useless.
I guess that is close enough.
The only problem is that this does cost 30 gold and it's pretty much use up the rest of your items.
Yeah.
Your loss for your gold.
Yeah, true. I think we can skip it for now.
Let's see here. Backfire Mantle, Bewitching Bloom.
What is
Bracelets
the
of Dashing.
Witching Bloom?
Alright, that costs 50 gold.
Yeah, we forgot it.
While dormant, this tattoo appears to be
It's a
a
tattoo.
symbol of... Yeah.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have the tattoos. She's 14.
Yeah, everything down here is going to be more expensive, because it's... So let's go ahead and back to this. Let's see. Soul Speaker. This grotesque amulet like shrunken head. No, that's Berserk right there.
Yeah, no, that's just... That's literally like the egg of the conqueror. Cut
Hand of the... Nope, that's a modified hand. An archaic wayfinder functions as a compass and acts as a repository for one cantrip cast into it. To fill an archaic wayfinder, a spellcaster casts the chosen cantrip into the empty device, providing any necessary cost. The spell cannot be one that is normally cast as a free action or reaction.
The thing
Activating
is...
an
Oh, sorry, you
Yes?
can keep going if you want. I was just going to say that the thing is, ironically, I guess the jewel she has is kind of makes her a lich, technically.
It's phylactery?
Yeah! It literally is where her soul is. At
Mhm.
all time.
Well, I should have known.
I know, right?
Let's see here. Unfortunately, there's not much else. So yeah, there's the archaic wayfinder, and there is the brooch of shielding.
Maybe the archaic wayfinder?
All right. So, go ahead and tell everyone what this character's name is.
It's Madoka Kaname.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
Y'all out here picking godlike beings. I'm out here being like, I'm gonna make a spy man. I see how.
Of course, we're not done yet. Of course, they have their familiar.
Cube. With an I at the end, please.
Eamon.
Corgi! I mean, close enough.
With what we have available right now, yes.
Oh, it's more cat-like, but dog, cat.
Well, the other option was Poppet, which is more like Pinocchio.
Yeah. It's a mammal. It works.
Alrighty then. Well, we can choose a familiar ability, so let's see. Flyer?
It doesn't really... Does...
Independent?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He does whatever the fuck he wants, the little shit.
Alright.
Like for instance, just out of the blue, talking about how their friend died. Just out of the blue, from nowhere.
And with that creates this
Beginning of the
character sheet.
episode.
Yeah.
So starting at level 4, they've got 44 hit points, they've got an AC of 20. Their striking longbow can hit for 11 and deal 2d8 damage with a range of 100 feet.
Damn, girl.
So yeah,
And now we pray to never forget. Fuck Ontario. Yes. Good. But yeah, and now we pray to never forget that being Meguka was suffering.
I don't know. I mean, if anything, I feel as if Subaru's the more suffering character. I mean, suffering. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
I thought the great handling and lumbar support, all in new modern Subarus.
Ah, Tiffany Tiefling, thank you for coming by here, and thank you very much for the hydrate and the stretch.
Ooh, I should take a sip
Huh?
also.
But actually, I think that pretty much does it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everyone, for coming by. I hope you all had fun. I know I did.
Oh, it was really fun. And it actually made me very curious about trying Pathfinder now because, damn, this is Toro, like, wow.
Yeah, because usually when you start up D&D, you usually have the level 1 through 4 with starting with, but then after that, you always gotta ask the DM, what do we start with? And that gets annoying and kind of confusing. Especially since in Pathfinder, you actually have prices for your items. But D&D doesn't really do prices for much.
It technically does. But it really
Not
depends on the
really.
DM. It depends on the DM. I've had a few DM who did.
Alrighty then, so with that all said and done, it's just about time for us to go and see someone else.
Yay! Great.
You guys have any suggestions?
Let me take a look at who's online right now, who you could raid. I know Danica, I believe, is still online right now. And they're- see who else is online at the moment. Oh nope, she actually ended. Party Demoness has still been going. Lucajin's on. Poppy's on. Pumpkin Potion.
Merry Go Round.
You know, it's been a while since I've seen Pumpkin Potion for a while.
Eee. Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Alrighty then. So we're going to be seeing the ever so wonderful Rubber Hose black and white cartoon star Pumpkin Potion.
Yay.
Wow, why can I not speak today?
Oh, that was me most of the day today. I actually did good during the stream. I'm surprised. Must be because it's
Alrighty then.
Easter. It's coming up. Are you gonna be okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm still alive.
I mean, yeah.
So it looks like they're playing Toontown. Oh wow, that is. I'm surprised it's not dead.
Wait, what? Toontown is.
I mean, technically it is.
You mean Toontown with the soundtrack by the same people who worked on Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. What?
What?
Yeah, the people who did the music for Toontown also did Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Wait.
Wow. Well, we know what the raid message is.
What? What?
Alrighty then. So that is the raid message. Is this Toontown from the same people who did the music for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance? So you guys go ahead and copy that. We're going to get ready to head on out. I have been Jesus. We've had ourselves BoonSlayer. We've had CherriWhiteWing and Ontarioku.
Yay!
See you all next time. Be safe and be awesome. Bye!
Bye.